All right, kids, it's time to change the stock because some of you don't know how to do this. Like, seriously, it's a stock, but it's okay. It's YouTube after all. What's going on, you guys? My name is Cisco, and today we're going to tell you or show you how to change not only your stock, but your buffer tube. On this Apex Fast Attack, it does come with a polymer buffer tube, and you know, it's light. It has 6 positions, it's nice. But polymer, it's kind of a no-no for me. I want full metal. So we're going to install this full metal buffer tube from Lancer Tactical. Oh, I already hear you, Lancer Tactical. Whatever. It's a buffer tube. Suck it. And then to replace this nice crane stock, we have the PTS EPSC Enhanced Polymer Stock Compact. And I know what you're thinking, another PTS thing. Oh, we have 2 on here already. I don't care. PTS is pretty Gucci. So you're gonna take it or leave it. And I'm your daddy, so you're gonna take it. All right, guys, first things first, take the battery out, clear the gun, no magazine, make sure all that's away from it before you start working on your gun so you don't shoot your eye out. Now, first thing we're gonna have to do is remove the stock. Typically on M4s, get out of the way, you have an adjustable stock. Normally 6 positions. It's adjustable through some type of lever right here. And you can see that it moves into different positions wherever you want it to be. But you actually use this lever to remove it from the buffer tube. Now you're thinking, Cisco, I'm pressing on the lever and it's not coming off. It's because you're doing it wrong, dummy. You need to pull downward on this lever and then it comes right off. You see that? Isn't that magical? Oh, it's better than sliced bologna. Now that we have the stock removed, we are now able to remove the buffer tube. Tools that you will need: a very long Phillips head screwdriver, and again, guys, an AR wrench. I said in the last video, get one of these. You can get them as cheap as $9 at AirsoftGI.com, or if you want a Gucci one like this, it's around $25-ish. And if not that, Amazon, eBay, something. Get yourself one because you will thank me later. Yeah, thank me now. Go ahead. I'll wait. Comment below. Thank you, Cisco. All right, guys, so first things first is we need to remove the buffer tube. Now, the Apex buffer tube is actually one piece, so this castle nut does not work. So in order to remove it, all we will need is our long Phillips head. You're just gonna want to line that up perfectly like this. And then you're just gonna unscrew it. Normally, I'd have this sitting vertically, so I can actually see the screw while I'm unscrewing it. So from here, going to want to push the, I guess it's the locking nut out. Shake it. Okay, then you guys will be able to see the screw and the end cap pop right out. Then from here, you can take off your buffer tube and your end cap, or sling plate. Well, this isn't a sling plate, this is just the end plate. All right, so now that that is completely removed, you are now able to install your new buffer tube set. We will need this end plate though, because our buffer tube set does not come included with it. Here's a tip, guys. If you do have a quick change spring system, if it's a true quick change spring system, you're able to access it through here. So guns that have this feature are going to be this Apex Fast Attack, Lancer Tactical. Some companies have it so you can reach it without taking the gearbox out through the receiver, but others you might have to take out the gearbox still in order to change your spring. All right, so for the new spring, or the new buffer tube, we have Lancer Tactical buffer tube right here. We have the castle nut, and then we have the screw, and I guess this is a shim, a washer. It holds it in place. It's what allows you to add the tension to keep the stock on there. So this is typically what the buffer tube is made of. Like I said, this buffer tube does not have a real castle nut, so this is just molded there. G&Gs are like this, and some other guns are like this as well. So in order to set this up properly, what you're going to need to do is set your castle nut first. Make sure that these grooves are facing the back of the buffer tube. So you're going to screw it on just like this. Then you're going to want to screw that all the way to the back. Don't really have to, but this will allow you to add counter tension to the receiver to make sure that it's locked on tight. And then literally you're just going to need to put this in reverse. So you're going to want to put your end plate back on, like so. Slide your wiring in, and then from here you're going to want to put on your buffer tube. However, this particular buffer tube does have an end plate, guys. So some guns will have this out of the box and it might be confusing. So all you need to do is remove it. Some of them you can untwist, just like a cap. This one in particular has a set screw. So luckily in the packaging, it comes with the correct Allen key for us to go ahead and just remove that. And then all you have to do right there is pop that off, slide that end cap off, and then you are good to go. This way, you can install batteries and the mounting hardware. It's everything you need. Okay, from here, you're going to take your washer and your screw and slide it down the buffer tube. So some buffer tubes may require you to align it perfectly while you are installing it. So there might be like some type of groove system for it to line up properly. This one, it's all smooth, so it doesn't really matter what direction this plate is. So you can have it sideways or whatever, just as long as the wire is coming through that flattened part so it's not pinching on the mounting hardware. All right. Now in order to install this properly, I'm going to need to look down here. I'm going to need to hold it in place. It's going to be a little tricky. Hold it in place, find the screw right there, and then just start twisting it down. But if you can't, it's because you're a nub. And sometimes the screw that is included with the buffer tube might be too short. And then I'm going to take the original screw from the original mounting hardware and then use this. Now you can see how much longer it is actually. So that extra length is going to be required to actually use to set it into the gun. Keep that in mind, guys. You know, everything is a little different. You might need to finesse it a little bit or mix and match parts of what you have available. So you see how the screw is now coming out of the gun? Do the same thing that I said before. Go ahead and line up your buffer tube. There is a right way to do this, guys. The flattened grooved edge here toward the bottom, because if you don't, it's gonna be upside down. What the frick? You don't want to look like Kevin with his paintball tank. With this one, you're just gonna want to do it a little bit tighter than finger tight. I don't know the exact torquage or foot-pounds you want to use to torque it down, but once it is set on there, it's tight. It won't come off. And then from here, all you have to do is twist your castle nut into place. Now, what the castle nut does is it provides tension, pulling it outward. So you have the inner screw pulling it inward, and this screw is going to push it outward to keep it set in place. Now, this is where your AR tool comes in, guys. So you're just going to line up the grooves with the grooves in the castle nut. Then you're just going to want to twist it. Now, this is an airsoft gun, so you don't want to put too much force on there. Just enough right there. See that? Perfect. Now it is perfectly set in place. The buffer tube is not going anywhere. And then you could slide the wiring back in there, and it's like you didn't even change it. It's such a minute detail, but this helps out in the long run to know. And finally, the last thing you need to do is slide your stock on. So line it up with the groove. You see that? See how it's perfectly aligned now? Just slide that in there. Now, stocks are going to be built fairly the same way for M4s. They're going to have that spring-loaded notch to give you the adjustment or the adjustability that you want while being able to lock it in place. So if you keep that in mind, that'll come in handy when swapping out for other stocks. So right here is where that spring is. So you're just gonna pull that down and then slide it. Oh, it's tough there, onto place. Then boom, and then all of a sudden, you're locked into place and you're good to go. All right, guys, that was the last easy upgrade that we could do to this gun. Of course it's external because the next upgrade that we're going to do is taking out the gearbox. It's not going to be fun, but we're doing it for you. And remember, kids, don't void your warranty. Do you know how many times we have a customer come in who bought a gun and removed the orange tip, and he broke the gun for some reason? Not he broke the gun broke. He broke the gun. And then he wants to try and return it, and we can't because he voided his warranty, and he's mad at us because he thinks it's our fault? No, it's his fault. It's your fault. Don't void the warranty. All right, you guys, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Support us by going to Airsoft GI and picking up all your airsoft needs. Videos every Wednesdays and Fridays. I live stream on Thursdays. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Hey, stop! Whoa! Oh, hey, what the? Stop! Give me that thing!
I'm wasting water.